Happy Thursday. Hope you're having such a good week so far. So good to be here with you live today. I'm just double checking that everything is working so we can kick off. Amazing. Yes, we are live. Awesome. All right, so today I am going to be chatting with you about 3 personal brand activities that are going to make a massive difference. Now, when it comes to building our personal brands, I know that sometimes it can feel overwhelming in terms of how much choice we've got for promoting ourselves, for promoting our work, for adding value, and attracting those aligned clients and opportunities. And there are a million different ways that we can build our personal brands. There's social media, there is doing media and PR, there is speaking at events, there is doing live video, there is building an email list and emailing our email list every week. There is so many different things. Like, you get the gist, right? There's so many different ways that we can build our personal brands. But ultimately, I know that you may think that I'm going to say that there are 3, really specific activities that are going to move the needle forward. But the thing is that it's not actually the personal brand building actions that you take that makes the massive difference. It is the intention and the mindset behind it. So I am going to explain to you a little bit about what I mean shortly. But yeah, I just wanted to get your attention by saying 3 personal brand activities that will make a massive difference, even though everything working in combination is what will actually make a massive difference. And so I'm going to share with you the 3 things that will underpin all of the activity that you do when it comes to building your personal brand, that will get you the most success, that will drive the best outcomes, as well as making you feel the best while you're doing it, so that you don't just feel like, you're throwing things out there and it's not, if it's not working, you're just kind of like throwing things at the wall and hoping they'll stick, and not actually feeling like, you're making a difference with building your personal brand, or that, that you're connecting with your audience. So know that you do have something to say. I know that, like, people that I've spoken with recently, some clients and previous clients that I've chatted with, and it's funny because, like, they're like, oh, I don't think of myself as a thought leader. But I'm like, you've got like 20 years of experience in your field of expertise. Of course you're a thought leader on that. It's just a matter of sharing it. But in order to share, we've got to build that confidence, right? We've got to, like, feel like we're worthy of sharing. And this is the fundamental point to make. And this is what often holds us back from building our personal brands. It's like, we don't, not that like necessarily we don't want to be judged, although we don't, but it's also just that feeling like, oh, I don't have anything to say that anyone will really listen to. And I have felt like that too. Absolutely. Like, I still feel like that. Like, I still have to, change my mindset and rewrite those stories every single day. So that doesn't ever go away. Like, it's not like you wake up one day and you go, oh, I'm worthy of like sharing. Everyone's going to listen to me. I feel 100% confident and like, let's go. It's more that every single day, no matter what, even if you're not feeling 100% confident to put yourself out there, it's like, I know that I'm worthy, like, of having something to say, and I know that when I do it, good things will happen. I know that, when I put myself out there, I'm providing value for other people in the world. I know that other people, need to hear my message. I know that, this is going to move the needle forward in my career or my business in massive ways. I know that when I build my personal brand, I am giving back to the world because I'm able to share my gifts, my skills, and I'm able to help other people in my own unique way by, more people knowing about my work so that they can actually know to work with me. So because I'm providing value through my free content as well. There's so many different ways. So it's really like cultivating that mindset every single day, because it's not like, we build confidence, right? And then it's like static forever. It's like there's things in life that can rock us. And rock our confidence, like whatever stage in life we're at, right? And so it is cultivating that mindset. It is tapping back into those, sorry, my cat's joining this live stream. It is tapping back into those times when we did feel confident, because sometimes we do. It's like motivation. Like we don't feel motivated every single minute of every single day, but does that mean we don't get things done? No, it just means that, you know, even when we're not motivated, we still show up. And even if we're not feeling 100% confident, that's when we need to still show up, okay? So now I'm gonna dive into those 3 personal brand activities. When I say activities, I mean mindset tools that will make a massive difference, okay? So the first thing is cultivating self-belief every single day. Now, I've just kind of gone into that a little bit, but this is such a key practice. And it's not like just for building your personal brand, right? Like cultivating self-belief every day is so important for every aspect of our lives. And it is something that needs to be cultivated. Like, I don't know about you, but I personally didn't just, you know, have self-belief. Like maybe I did when I was a kid, but then it's like things in life rock you, right? Like things happen that take away or make you question that self-belief, that we have to like actually tap back into it and bring it back and almost like peel away the layers of crap that comes on like top of us as we live our lives. It's like, you know, like for me, it was like, you know, like relationship breakups. It was, you know, like having to like pay my way through university and then like taking 10 years to pay off the debt. It was like career knocks. It's like things like, you know, health challenges, women's health challenges, that I've had to have like 5 surgeries over a matter of 8 years. Like, you know, it's, you know, things at work happening, like, you know, managers that don't necessarily support. It's like, you know, things that happen in your career, financial knocks, life knocks, you know, and having to get back up on your feet. And those are the things that really can detract from our self-belief. And that's where we need to continue to work that muscle and almost like examine and then tear away the layers that are built on top of it, that are preventing us from shining our light really in the world, that are preventing us from putting ourselves out there, that are preventing us from, you know, actually moving forward in a way that is going to make a big, big difference to our careers or to our businesses and help us to actually stand out, help us to connect with our potential clients, help us to connect with our audience, and help us to ultimately give the most back to the world. So how can you start to cultivate this self-belief? Because I really dislike it when people talk about like, you know, how do like cultivating self-belief and like that mindset stuff, and it's like, but how how do I do that? Like it sounds like easier said than done. And really what I want you to know is that there is no magic bullet here. There is no magic bullet to it. Unfortunately, like if there was that magic pill, I would have taken it like a long time ago, right? But it's not. So there's not. And so it is a matter of layering different tactics and techniques and then doing them consistently, just like everything, just like building your personal brand, just like, you know, getting healthy. It's like, it's not a matter of taking a magical pill. It's like choosing little things to do every single day and then doing them consistently, so that, you know, they can make a difference over time. And I know that like no one really wants to hear about the hard work that's involved, but it can also be fun. It doesn't need to feel hard, right? Like you can make this as fun as you want it to be. And so like for me, some of the tools that I use to build self-belief are, I, you know, make sure that I'm connecting in with myself every day and how I feel and what my inner critic is saying every single day so that I can question those beliefs. So every single morning I'm journaling, like, what is my inner critic saying today? What is it telling me? And it's always like a long stream of things, like, you know, whatever, like ultimately not being enough, not being good enough, but like there's so many different, sorry, my cat's been crazy. I think it's the wind, it's windy outside. There's so many things that, you know, like come up in my stream of consciousness day to day. And like, and it's like when you write them down, I think it can help to know what's happened the day before or in the days leading up to whenever you have a mindset dip, so that you can kind of go, okay, that may have contributed to that. And that's how, and like, you know, figuring out how you can handle that better in future so that you don't dip or spiral in like in your mindset day to day. You know, and it's like thinking about like how you're going to handle things, thinking about like and journaling about the fears that are coming up for you, like what's going to happen if I actually, you know, go and do that interview, or what's going to happen if I am more visible, what's going to happen if I put myself out there, like what is the actual fear there, and then really drill down and then question whether that's reality, and also how you're going to move through it next. How are you going to actually start to take action next, rather than allowing that fear just to prevent you and staying stuck in like procrastination? Because like I personally hate being stuck in procrastination and indecision. I think it's like the worst place because it's so uncomfortable. It's like, you know, when you're sitting on the fence and you're kind of like, oh, do I go this way, do I go that way? That's when it's like, oh, it just feels so sticky. Whereas like when you make a decision, it's like, okay, I've made that decision, let's do it. And so, yeah, like make those decisions, like decide that you're going to do it, right? And then find ways through and around, like what else can I do next? What else can I do next? What else can I do next? You know, when those problems are arising. So get into that right headspace, ground yourself every day and throughout the day, like with deep breathing. And I know that these sound like little things like journaling, deep breathing, but it's like these are the things that working together are going to support you to cultivate more self-belief, self-confidence, and help you actually to nurture yourself so that you can start putting yourself out there. Because I know visibility can bring up so much stuff. Like we ultimately have to face ourselves, right? Because we're putting ourselves out there, and you know, if we don't like ourselves, how can we expect anyone else to like ourselves, right? So it is cultivating that self-love, cultivating the self-belief, cultivating the self-trust and self-confidence, and knowing that we've got something to give. And that just takes ongoing work. It's not something, you know, that you can just wake up to one day and go, yeah, that's it. You know, I'm good. I'm done. I'm like ready to go. And it does get easier. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't get nervous or anything like speaking in front of people, or I mean, I do, like, depending on what it is, but like doing live video or whatever, it's like, yeah, that's fine. You know, I just have done all the work, right? Every single day. And I've like, you know, practiced and taken the action every single day. And ultimately, that's what it's all about. That is what is going to get you there. So yeah, there's so many different tools that you can help to cultivate, that you can use to help you cultivate self-belief, but use what resonates for you. There's like EFT or tapping, and just, you know, YouTube it, EFT for self-belief, Google it. Like there's so many free resources out there that you can use, and really simple resources. You can start the day with meditation, like, and get back into like your centered kind of self, calm that racing mind, because often there's all these thoughts swirling around and around and around, and that like are preventing us from moving forward. You know, taking care of yourself rather than prioritizing work or other stuff, because ultimately if you're not okay, then other stuff's not going to be okay. All right. So that was the first one, to cultivate self-belief every day. And that's going to support you so much and make the biggest difference in how you put yourself out there, and in, you know, actually putting yourself out there, whether or not you do. 2 is setting intentional energy around your personal brand. So how do you want people to feel when they see you online or when they meet you? So personally, I want people to feel confident, I want people to feel empowered, and I want people to feel inspired to take action. And so setting that intention is so, so powerful, right? Because it's like anything, like when we set an intention of how we want things to play out, it's so much more likely to happen, as opposed to if we're just like, I don't know what's going to happen, whatever. just go into it and then just let like the universe kind of give us whatever. It's like, it's like kind of, I know a lot of people say this around manifesting, but it's like when you put in manifesting, it's like when you put in an order for the local pizza shop and you're like, and they're like, what would you like? And you're like, whatever, just give me whatever. And then they're like, well, you've got to choose a pizza. Otherwise, we're going to give you something you don't necessarily like. And so it kind of is like setting an intention is like choosing how you want the outcome to be. Right. And so that intentional process is so, so powerful as well. So, how do you want your audience to feel? What is it that you're trying to cultivate? Because remember, when you're building your personal brand, it really is about your audience. And life is all that. Like it's all about giving back. It's about what you can give back because ultimately that is how we receive more is by giving back, right? Like that's how we receive more money. We receive more friendship and love. We receive more of everything by how much we're giving. And so, and that's one thing that like I learned because when I was in, early in my career, I was like, oh, what can I get out of this role? What can I get out of this like career trajectory? And like that was just the way I just thought that was normal to think like that. It was like, what can I get out of that career? Like, and it felt normal to think like that. It was like, yeah, because I get something out of it, right? When I do it. But really, it's all about, the question really is, what can I give? Like, how much can I give to this role? If I can give a lot, then I'm going to get a lot back. If I can only give like a little tiny bit, like let's say it's not in my area of strength, then I'm not going to get much back. And so really the question is, how much can I give here? So before you go live or before you're visible in front of any channel, just set that intention for how you want to be, how you want to feel. Okay. And then the third thing is being consistent, right? Being consistent when you're building your personal brand. There is no one and done. Again, I can liken it to being building like a fitness regime or a health regime. And it's like, being consistent every day. Like you can't just like go and do a workout and then you're done forever. You've got to be consistent regularly. You've got to be visible regularly. You've got to be like, to build your personal brand, it is about being front of mind and it is about like repeating, coming up with your key messages and then repeating them so that more and more people can hear about it, right? And so like that consistency also builds trust and because that's the only way these people know you and see you is by, how often you're visible and by doing what you say you're going to do. It if you say you're going to send out a newsletter every Tuesday, then send out the newsletter every Tuesday. That's how you build the trust, right? And so it really is about that consistency. And that is really how people get the edge when it comes to building their personal brand. Consistency as well as getting in front of new audiences and building that audience because there's so much content out there now and there's less reach than ever. And so it really is about getting in front of more and more people and like partnering with other people to get in front of their audiences as well and then just giving a ton of value. All right. I think that was it. I just checking my notes to make sure I've covered everything off. Yeah, I have. So I'm just gonna go back over those three things because I want you to start taking action, whether it's something really, really tiny, like really grounding yourself every day and tapping into that self-worth and, figuring out what that inner critic is saying and then rewriting those stories every single day so that you do feel more confident because ultimately no one is going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself first. And that's what I found. Like, I think like in careers, sometimes we can wait for someone to promote us and wait for someone to tap us on the shoulder and say, hey, you've done a really great job. You're really good at what you do. And that's the thing that in life, it's not like that. We have to decide first, like, I am going to be good at this. I am good at this. I am worthy at this. People are going to listen to what I have to say because I am coming from a place of value and sharing what I know and sharing what I've learned so that I can help others. And so it's like setting that intention for you, for your actions, and then coming from that place in front of your audience is so, so important. Now, so going back over those three key things that are going to make the biggest difference when it comes to building your personal brand is number one, cultivate that self belief every day. So, do the journaling, do the meditation, tap into yourself. What is it that makes you feel good, and how do you cultivate that every single day? What's going to make you feel more confident, and cultivate that every single day? you know Use things in your past that are like examples in your past that are examples of how you have given value, how you have succeeded, where have you been confident in the past, and then go from there. um, Number two is set the intentional energy before you go live. But even if it's speaking in front of a meeting, how do you want people to feel? What are the things that you're trying to cultivate? Set that intention before you actually do it. And number three, be consistent, because that is the number one thing that is going to support you to create your personal brand, is putting things out there and then being consistent with it so that you can build that trust, stay front of mind, and also really, let's be frank, refine your message and get better at that content. So I hope this has really supported you. I'm sure it's not what you're expecting when I was talking about the personal brand activities that are going to make a massive difference. You might have thought I was going to say, go live on LinkedIn or something like that. But ultimately, those are all tactics that, everything works, right? Everything works. So I really hope this has supported you. DM me or let me know if this resonates, and the one thing that you're going to do next to take action when it comes to building your personal brand, even if it is just flexing that self-worth muscle every single morning and adding a little bit of a grounding practice to your day so that you can start to feel more confident as you go about your day and as you build your personal brand. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next week live or on the replay. See you soon. Bye.